Went through the police are requesting an ambulance to detail man screaming for one. Inside the Irish Social Club at number 19 Park Street, West Rock Street.
Drift Shadows blank as my sleep.
Have you ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius? Millions of collectors, lovers of film and horror alike, just living out their lives, oblivious. Did you know that the first program was designed to be a perfect human world, where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Some believe that we lack the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. However, when viewers of the Movie Canon YouTube channel tune in, they get a sense of joy. Too much joy, if you ask me. You see, the perfect world would dream that your primitive cerebral kept trying to wake up from, which is why this was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. For some reason, human beings still found their way to the Movie Canon YouTube channel. This has to change. Look out that window. You had your time. The future is our world. The future is our time. Is there something on your mind?
Watch the Movie Canon.
Hi, you're watching the Movie Canon? Watch Gio.
You know the funniest thing, though? It's the little differences.
Example.
Well, at McDonald's, you can buy a Krusty Burger with cheese, right? But they don't call it a Krusty Burger with cheese.
Get out. Well, what do they call it?
A Quarter Pounder with cheese.
Quarter Pounder with cheese?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Movie Canon. I am Giovanni, and this is The Mev Report, a show about movies, entertainment, and television news. And this is a very special episode of The Mev Report because we're going to do a movie tier list of the 9 Quentin Tarantino films. And we have my Canon Council that will be joining us here today, get their input. They're going to put in their grades, their rankings of these Tarantino movies. So it should be a lot of fun there. So let's go ahead and bring in my Canon Council, as I like to call them. The first one here, he is actually the current figure stock champion on my figure stock show. You guys know him as Brick Artemis, but today he's going to be Brick Vega.
That's frightening. Okay.
When you
Oh man. Okay.
Okay, you got the point, Brick. Let's move on.
I think I peed a little bit, but okay.
Kids at the orphanage call me Dick.
Well, children can be cruel.
Yeah.
Let's
Brick.
go. Champ, baby. It's upside down. There we go. Man, yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Real
you
gold, everything. Look at that.
Oh, real gold, exactly right. So there you go.
Man.
Brick, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for
I know
having me.
I know it was kind of like last minute. I know I was going to do this like a series of filmmakers, directors, like do a movie tier list. And I know I was working on the Spielberg one. But I was like, let's do the Tarantino. He has like only like 9 movies.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining us here today. And what does your shirt say?
It says the most right of all time. So perfect shirt to wear for today. And I'm ready. It's for like fantasy football. It's a quote from Fantasy Pros. So I you know, kind of works today. So
okay, all right.
I know my boy Jose is gonna love it.
I'm sure he will.
Fact checker.
There you go. But yeah, thank you so much there, Brick. Let's go ahead and bring in my next guest. He has been here many times on the Met Report and Figures Talk. We have Mr. Alex Montano. All right, let's move on to the next one here. So the other project that is maybe going to happen is the Rey Skywalker New Jedi Order movie. And with that reaction, let's go to you, Alex. What are your thoughts on this? Alex, how you doing, Alex?
Good to be here. Good to see you guys.
It's been a little while, right? It's been a while since we've been on here, so
yeah, it's been like a month.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a little while there, and thank you so much for joining us here, Alex. I especially wanted you here, all the movie buffs, the movie guys here on this particular stream, talking about Tarantino. I know we're gonna agree on some things, and I know we're gonna disagree. I know for at least one. But
I'm curious about which one.
We'll see how that goes. And you guys might be a little bit surprised on my end, and I'm sure I'll see some surprises from you guys as well. But thank you so much, Alex Montano, for joining us here today. So let's go and bring in my last Canon Council member for the day, and we have the one and only who just created a YouTube channel and has his own content recently. So let's go and bring him in here, Mr. Jose plus the fact checker.
You meant Revenge of the Sith, right? You said Rise of Skywalker.
Oh my God.
It's actually a she.
Well, the
and
actress is a she, but Kid Pool actually I think is a male.
Yes,
in the comics, Kid Pool is a boy. Yeah.
You know, but you can't. I mean, at that age, you know,
all these fact checks everywhere. But Jose, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Okay.
Pretty good. I'm also fighting a cough, so if I go on mute or whatever, that's why. I've been struggling with this for a couple of days because of the kids and all that. I think it's like the sick season, and people are getting sick, and kids don't cover their mouths sometimes, and Yeah, so I've been fighting it. So if my voice sounds a little funny, or if I step away, or if I put myself on mute, you know why.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Same thing with me, because I've been having this cough for I don't know how long now, on and off. But I'm here. We're here. So let's get
Yes.
things
And I was messaging you. I put on my shirt, my Sharon Tate shirt, as you see
Oh,
here.
man.
So I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, all right. So let's look at the live chat, and then guys, thank you so much for joining here tonight. So we have a few comments in there. We'll go in there right now. We have Christian Crosshair Cooper dropping by. What's up, guys? Hello there, Christian. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Greatly appreciate it there. And then Brick Artemis warming up the chat. Christian saying hello to Brick there. And then Christian says, going to unbox my InArt Aragorn in a little bit. Yeah, I don't have an InArt figure yet.
I have it in my closet.
That's right, you do. I think you mentioned that to me before. And I know Jose has at least two.
I do. Well, no, and it's 3 now with the Joker right there is InArt as
well.
well.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You do have that one too.
So
that's right.
3. So
look at you balling out.
Everywhere. Did you pick up the Paulo treaties, Jose? Or you were?
Yes, I have it on order. I have it on order.
You do have it. Okay.
Yeah. So I have it on order, and then I'm also getting Hermione, probably Ron, and if I can find a Harry. So I'm probably. But I ordered Hermione already. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Paul is the only one that I have on order now. So I'm looking forward to that. Who knows when we're gonna get that, but that's
hopefully maybe
next year.
Yeah, hopefully like early next year we start getting a couple early batches.
Dude, I'd even be happy if we got Paul by like summer of 25. Like I'd be okay with that.
Oh yeah.
It's not too,
Yeah, so we'll
if
see
it's after that, then it's like, okay, come on.
Right. Then we have Brick saying Jose with all the ladies in his intro. Then Jose, what are you saying there? Of course, Gio won't let me add more ladies because there's too much heat there. Yeah, I know you wanted to bring some more clips in there. I was like, your intro is already kind of long, so you have to cut some of those out so we can add them in.
He's
there.
like, cut them out. I was like, no way. I was like, we can't cut them out. I was like, just leave it as is for now.
Yeah,
man.
But you have plenty of ladies and just iconic characters in there anyway. So
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And I love the scene. I love rewatching that scene. I told you, I'm like, that's why I asked you to put that clip where Jim Carrey's dancing with Nicole Kidman. I just think it's so funny the way he dances with her.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you put that in there.
Very nostalgic for me.
Yes.
That particular scene there. All right. So it looks like we're caught up in the live chat. So let's go ahead and get started, guys, here with the Tarantino movie tier list. Now, these are movies that Quentin Tarantino has directed / written. I know he's done other movies that he's starred in or co-starred in or whatever. So I didn't.
So you're not including like
True Romance or
True Romance, like other things that he wrote, right? Only directed.
Right. Just he had to have directed the film.
Okay. Yeah.
And the ones that he calls himself to have, how he puts the 4th film, the 5th film, kind of like that list. So he has it as 9, and of course Kill Bill and Kill Bill Volume 2 is considered 1.
Before we get started, someone just recently called him out. Who was it? Like another director? I don't know if it was Scorsese or somebody.
Ridley Scott.
Coppola.
It was Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, there we go. Ridley Scott. He was like, he told him, he was like, he was like, I don't believe him that he says he's gonna do one more film and he's done. He's like, shut up, make more movies or something like that, right? It was funny.
That's true, right? Because he said he was gonna 10 films and that's it, and then he had that movie critic movie that he was gonna do.
Yeah,
it or something,
with that guy from Cobra Kai, Stingray. But he just recently got an Emmy, right? Didn't he win the Emmy for that show he did with Taron Egerton?
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was going to be the main guy. That one. He was going to be the main guy in the movie critic movie that he was going to do, and then he just decided he changed his mind and he's not doing it anymore. So
yeah, that's kind of weird because it was like that's going to be his last one. It's a movie called The Movie Critic. I was like, oh, okay. I was still hoping for Kill Bill Volume 3, but we'll get into that later. But
I know, yeah.
But
I have a question. before we start, as I always do. Are we going to be doing this tier list based off only Tarantino films, or are we like putting these up against like every movie out there? So like obviously as a Tarantino film, I consider a lot of these higher than lower. But if I'm comparing it to like other movies out in like Spielberg and other directors, are we like, since we're doing more movies like this in the future, right? More tier lists like this in the future, are we going to actually like compare it to everything else and not just Tarantino, I guess is my question.
So I'm just kind of counting it as what does this movie land just in your ranking, just the overall enjoyment of the movie. I guess you're not going to compare it to other films, or I guess you could, but it's not just a Tarantino list. I don't think that all of us are going to say that every single Tarantino movie was S tier list or S tier. At least I don't think so. So just in general, you don't have to compare it to just Tarantino movies or just movies in general. Just where does this movie land? Just in general, and we may have a lot of high rankings on these movies because at least I'm a fan of Tarantino. It's mainly his like writing style and stuff like that, but not so much the person. I think he's kind of annoying in the interviews that I've seen of him. But when it comes to the movies, yes, I'm a big fan of Tarantino, and so that's how I'm kind of doing that. I guess that was the first hot take of the day here, but let's start here. Looks like we have a comment here. We have TJ Mike, aka King Churro, dropping by here. Happy Saturday, Gio and crew. Thanks so much.
Good to see
TJ
you,
Mike, for dropping by here. Always appreciate.
Did you get to meet him, Gio? No, probably not.
No,
right?
I left. I came over that Sunday. I think he had already left.
He had already left. Yeah, very nice man. Yes, we met him. We hung out at the beach. Well, he came by because he had been comic book shopping with Moose that Saturday, and he showed up there at Duke's in Huntington Beach, and we had dinner all together. It was very nice to hang out with him. Yeah,
I saw a bunch of photos, like because that did the photos of the CaliCon, and he was in a lot of the photos and like videos and stuff.
Yeah,
and then like I show up, and it's like, and then he had already left, so I kind of feel like I did meet him through all the photos and all the other stuff, but
yeah, of course.
But yeah, hopefully in the next CaliCon, whenever that is. I know they were talking about maybe Tahoe or something for next year.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know,
but we'll see there. All right, guys, so you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so here we go.
Oh my!
I'll ask you guys this first. Did you guys had any chance of rewatching any Tarantino movies this week?
I watched Jackie Brown 2 weeks ago.
Jackie Brown.
Oh, okay.
Jackie Brown I rewatched a few months ago, and I got lucky that I rewatched it because then I was tested on it on the Hope Show with Shane, and it came up.
Oh damn.
But I hadn't seen it since we kind of broke down. That scene that kind of mirrors another movie. I'm totally phasing, but like when she's at the airport and is kind of panning over. Like the intro shot. When she's walking in, anyways, like the moving, what is that thing called? That when you're like at the airport.
I thought you were saying the shot because that's
the tracking shot. Yeah, we went over that and like in film school and all that. So, I hadn't seen it since then, so I rewatched it, and then again I was tested on it, and I happened to remember. But if not, I would totally spaced out. So that's the most recent one I saw. I wanted to watch more this week, but I didn't really get a chance. So I kind of watched a couple YouTube videos to kind of remind myself, like, okay, which one was this one and which one was this one? And that's kind of all I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I rewatched a few. I rewatched Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, and Kill Bill. So those are the ones I was able to rewatch. Mainly because I haven't seen those in a while. But I just wanted to know if you guys, if it was kind of fresh in your memory or not, but it's fine. All right, so let's begin with the first one here. So we have Reservoir Dogs, right? So 1992, I believe, and this is the I guess the first one that we're gonna talk about here today. But I I remember watching this movie. Obviously, it's not going to be amongst my favorite Tarantino movies. I think it's one of the shortest ones, if not the shortest Tarantino film. It's like an hour and like 37 minutes or something like that. You know, a lot of the Tarantino movies are like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours long. And then if you count Kill Bill, it's even longer. But I mean, it's a solid, low budget, small film. It's not really a movie that I like to want to continue rewatching. Of course, a lot of these Tarantino movies are very dialogue driven. That's kind of the main things that he's mainly known for. He has a lot of nice, witty, interesting conversations and the dialogue and the writing that's normally it would be kind of like, why are we talking about this? But he kind of makes it interesting, at least in those particular scenes in a lot of the movies that he's in. It's just like some random shit that he starts talking about and you're kind of like invested in it. Like, okay, so that makes sense. I kind of had these conversations before. I kind of thought about things like this. So there's a lot of going on here. Of course, there's a whole mystery thing about who is the rat, right, in the Reservoir Dogs, and then we actually do learn who it is. Like, it doesn't wait until the very, very end. It's a very bloody movie, as a lot of you guys know, when it comes to these Tarantino films. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick this off, and I'm gonna say, for my grade, I'm gonna say Reservoir Dogs is gonna be more like in the between B or C. That's kind of where I'm landing that on right now. For now, I'll stick it at C. So I'll do that for now. So that's mine. C for Reservoir Dogs. So then I'll start with Mr. Brick Artemis. What would you put, or what did you want to say about Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah, so so Reservoir Dogs is really cool because it is somehow related to Pulp Fiction, right? So there is like that connection there, which is really cool, but it's not one of my favorite Tarantino movies. Now it's what I believe it's the first Tarantino movie I've ever seen. I think I saw this and then Pulp Fiction next, but I would probably put it around a C as well. Because it's not one of those movies that I go back to a lot. And I think I've seen this movie 3 times. I think I watched it in high school, and then the last time I watched it was probably like 3 years ago. But it's fun, you know. I mean, has a lot of good actors in it. But yeah, I think I'll stick with a C.
Yeah, I see a lot of similarities because I just watched both. Oh, Pulp Fiction. I did rewatch Pulp Fiction as well this week. So I watched them like within 24 hours, and actually the same day. And I saw a lot of similarities. Like, oh, that's definitely a Tarantino film. You could see some dialogue, some scenes that are like, oh, that's very similar to Pulp Fiction and vice versa. So I find it to be kind of interesting there. But let's throw it to Mr. Alex. Where would you put Reservoir Dogs?
For me, it's an A. I think like very few directors get to have such a good first film when every single department is very cohesive. He really knew how to put everything together in that movie. The story makes sense. Like everything in that movie is like, okay, we know where this director is gonna head next. Story is his main thing. He was still working like a lot on his camera work, the storytelling part with the camera and editing. But the way he deals with dialogue and actors, like I think it's very impressive in this movie. And he's like, it's an incredible first film. Like not even like when you think about first movies and you go to Spielberg's like Duel or Sugarland Express, like those movies, like they're not as polished as Reservoir Dogs is. Like this is like a very, very well crafted movie for someone who's just starting directing films.
All right. How about you, Jose?
I kind of follow what Alex is saying there. I definitely agree. I think there's a lot of sharp dialogue that's there that, you know, for some people might not work because, like you said, sometimes his films are like kind of a little bit more exhausting with the dialogue, right? So there's a lot of dialogue that's carried through the films. But I think this one's interesting, the whole thing with the mole and trying to discover that and the tension that's being built between the characters, right? The suspects of who is the undercover cop or whatever is. I do like the non-linear storytelling, which he does a lot, right?
Yeah, he does.
So it's really, really interesting
Does it
how
well.
he does that. So yeah, I think this is his first feature film, right?
I believe so.
From what I remember, so this is his first feature film. So I would say, in terms of tier list, I think it's up there. I don't think it's his best film because I think he's improved since then. So I would put it. Where would I put it? Probably in B tier. So I think it's up there, but I wouldn't say it's A or S.
Okay. All right. So we got all the greats here. So let's see where we would put this here. So we have 2 C's, 1 B, and 1 A. So let me see if I can figure this out here. I kind of put like a little score going on here. So it's going to be more like, I think it's going to be more like a, damn, it's harder than I thought it was going to be.
Wait, confirm again. So I said B, Alex said A, Gio, you said what?
C.
And Brent, you said
C. C as well.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, that's harder, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it is kind of hard. I guess I could put him like a lower B. Like a lower B.
Yeah, I think because
and that makes sense too, Gio, because you were kind of like between a C and a B.
Right, that's right.
So that kind of makes it perfect. Yeah.
So I'll put as a lower B, and then if we get another one that's like a B and it might be a higher B,
sure,
then I'll move it ahead of it. So there we go. So that was Reservoir Dogs, a B, lower B for now. Next one is Inglourious Bastards.
Ooh.
Right, so 2009, and I was very excited for this movie. We have great acting, like always. We have a quote-unquote historical take. We have the bloodiness that we know when it comes to Tarantino. We have the dialogue. Now, I need to really think about it, but I think one of the best dialogue-driven scenes, at least in my opinion, I'm sure you guys will probably disagree, but the opening scene of this film, Inglourious Bastards, with I forget the character's name, played by
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz, yes, right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's an awesome scene, and it's kind of long. But it's kind of like quiet, and it's like there's a lot of tension in that scene, with not very much stuff happening. And I just think it was like very well shot and filmed, and obviously acted and written. It just kind of like puts you on the edge of your seat in what's going on there, and it's like very tamed scene. And then that's when we first introduced to this character, which he seems Christoph Waltz character, who seems like very charismatic and nice, but then he gets nuts, right? So he gets kind of crazy. And that was a great performance. When I watched that movie, after I finished watching Inglourious Bastards, it was like Christoph Waltz is like the one to beat for Oscar that year. And then sure enough, he won it. And great film. And of course, there's the whole thing about Tarantino takes the actual historic account out the window.
Yes.
And we kind of get a different take, which is kind of cool. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Of course, it's not accurate at all, but it was very, very cool. Very cool style to do that. And then he used the film, the old film, to like kind of use it in here for that third act. He's a big fan of film and movies and things like that. So that was that was cool. And then of course we have Eli Roth as the Jew Bear, is that what he's called? And so it's just a lot of great films. The scene with what's his name? Michael Fassbender, is that his name?
Yeah.
Archie.
I think that's the first time I think that's the first time I saw him in a film. That scene when they're like pretending to be Nazis and stuff. That scene was very, very awesome too. A lot of very dialogue driven as well, and it's great film. Many great scenes. So for me, Inglourious Bastards, I'm gonna put it as S. So that's for me there. Let's go this route now, and let's start with Jose this time.
Oh man. Okay. So a lot of people consider this one his best film. People argue, and it's kind of. I mean, I think it's definitely open to dialogue of whether it is or it isn't. I mean, it's hard because you've got to go up against Pulp Fiction and the Kill Bill films, and it's for me personally. I think Inglourious Bastards is definitely up there. I definitely enjoy it. I do enjoy, like, again, the non-linear storytelling that he does in the film. Again, the interweaving of the two plots that he's doing, right? The separate plots and how they kind of connect. I do enjoy that. Obviously, the dark humor and all the freaking bloody violence in this movie, and obviously Christoph Waltz's performance is exceptional. It's just insane, and I can't really argue with the S tier, but I personally don't put it as high because I personally think the other films are a little bit better. So I would say A, but I'm not mad at the S tier. So that's just my opinion.
Okay, all right. So I got an A tier for Jose. Alex.
For me, it's an S. It's my favorite Tarantino movie.
Yeah, same.
This was for me like the first time that I actually saw a movie of him in the big screen. Like I couldn't. Oh no, I'm lying. I watched Kill Bill Volume 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, I lied. But it was the first time that I was actually like completely involved in it, and I was impressed by the reaction of the people in the theater because I think a lot of people went watching it thinking that it was going to be a serious World War II movie. So there was a lot of old people with me in the theater, and 6 minutes in, things start go crazy. I started laughing, and the old people were looking at me like, "Is this guy crazy? Is he a Nazi? Like, why is he laughing? Like, this is not a comedy." But it's so funny how he takes the power of filmmaking to change history, and it's the first time that he did it. Like, you can see that he loves movies so much that he knows that they have the power to change things. And you can see it here, like how movie theater, how he burns Hitler with celluloid. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how he comes up with this stuff. Like how he portrays someone as mean as Goebbels, as just this idiot who is obsessed to please Hitler. Like everybody in that movie. Like I'm a huge World War II history buff, so the way he shows everyone in this movie, like all these big Nazi people. And how he's just like all these people were little people who were idiots and they just wanted to prove themselves. So I don't know. For me personally, I it's my favorite. I do think that Pulp Fiction is a better film, but personally, I like Inglourious Bastards more.
Okay. Mr. Brick Vega.
Yeah, this is to me Tarantino at his best. I there's two movies that I would say that, and so this is an S tier for me. And I absolutely love Christoph Waltz in this movie. I love Brad Pitt in this movie. I mean, the part when they're scalping, and we're killing Nazis. Like it was just like this movie. The opening scene, you brought it up, the whole like setting up the movie theater, and when you rewatch, you're like, oh, getting ready for that big scene there at the theater. And yeah, I really, really enjoy this film. I think this is when I started falling in love with Tarantino, and then going back to Pulp Fiction and rewatching that, and then liking that more, and then going back to Kill Bill and all of that. So it really got me into like this huge Tarantino fix, which then later on came Django. So it was it's a must S tier for me for sure.
All right. So Zay, you're saying it's an S or an A? What was that? Jose, can you hear me?
Looks like you're muted.
Am I muted?
Yeah, I hear you. I thought Brick froze, but I'm here.
Oh, okay. So are you saying so is it going to be A or S for?
I said S. Did
Brick
it is say S?
Yeah, he said S. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I said A. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. That's what I thought. So
yeah, sorry. I'm confusing them. Yeah, my bad. I said A.
Okay,
you
so
guys said S. Yeah, my bad.
Right. So most of us said S, and then yours is still pretty.
Well, but what I was saying was that I wouldn't be mad at the S.
Right. That's right. So Inglourious Basterds is going to be S. So
okay.
Yeah, S there, and then we'll see where it's going to land among the other S's, right? So, okay. Christian Cooper says S. Amazing movie, he says.
Yeah.
And
that's where I got confused.
Okay, there you go. That's what I said. Christian Cooper says, crazy part when the guy puts up the wrong 3 in the bar. And my cousin, Billy Goat, Chevo as we call him, Kill Bill S tier, he says. We'll get to that in a bit. Jackie Brown is a C. All right, so he's getting ahead of us right now. So, all right, so there you go. So S tier for Inglourious Basterds. Let's move on to the next film, and it's going to be Django Unchained. So this is the one that I think I remember reading something about. Oh, Tarantino's making like a Western movie, like a Western style movie, and this is it, Django Unchained. And if I remember correctly, now we do have the fact checker here, so maybe we can check it. If I remember correctly, I believe Tarantino was trying to get Will Smith first.
That is correct.
To try to get Django, and then for whatever reason he did the whole Neil thing or something. I don't know.
Well, he said something he didn't want to do it because he did that Western movie before.
Oh, the
Wild West, and he didn't
yet again that movie gets in the way of him making yet another great character, whatever. So we got Jamie Foxx, which I was cool with. You know, he had just recently, well, not recently, but he had won Oscar for Ray, and he was nominated for Collateral Damage, or is it Collateral? No, Collateral.
Just Collateral.
I was recently watching Ray. It was on cable or something. I rewatched him. He's so good in that movie.
I need to rewatch
that performance. That performance is truly exceptional. You truly believe is like he took over Ray Charles's body, and he's like that's him, like in his body, like being Ray Charles. Like I don't like it's Jamie Foxx, but it's like he's completely was overtaken by him, like possessed. I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah, I remember when the movie came out. I mean, I saw it when it came out in the theater, and I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy." Just another performance.
I think between that and Walk the Line are my two favorite like movies about musicians. You know.
Oh, okay.
But Walk the Line is great.
And that was the year after that with Phoenix. So Jamie Foxx, good choice there. Enjoyed the film. I think this movie is very entertaining. And I do really like it. I think I watched it a couple times in the theater when it first came out. And I know it won Tarantino his second Oscar for writing. So, and then, I can't remember his name now. Damn, I can't remember his name. Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know. I can't remember Samuel L. Jackson's name. His character in that movie was fucking hilarious. I just like seeing him in there. Like he's just like all pissed off the whole time, and he's like, he did a great performance. I'm surprised he didn't get any kind of nominations of any sort that year. He did really great. And then of course we have Leo playing was it Candyland or whatever, or Candy whatever. Great performance from him. I thought he was
Calvin Candy was Leo.
Calvin Candy, there you go.
And Steven was Samuel L. Jackson. Steven.
Oh, okay, there you go. So I thought he was gonna win for Best Supporting Actor that year for Oscar because we just haven't really seen him like that, right? So he's done other performances.
You thought Leo was gonna win?
Yeah, that year, yes,
oh.
I did, and he didn't even get nominated, but you know. It is what it is.
I feel like it was too short of a part, you know.
Oh well, I mean, it would have been a supporting role, but
I will counter that Brick, with the fact that Mahershala, what his name is,
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, won his Oscar for, what was it, Moonlight, and he's in
have.
that movie for like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
and he shouldn't have.
And by the way, I don't think that that performance is an Oscar-winning performance. Just throwing it out there.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think a supporting actor should be like someone supporting the main actor.
And then you could see the people he went up against that year, and there's like 2 or 3 other people they could have given it to. I don't understand how he won that Oscar.
Yeah, right. I would agree with that. I would agree with the second Oscar that he won, but not the first one that he won.
For the Green Mile or whatever that was called.
For Green Book. For Green Book.
Green Book, yeah, Green Book. Green Mile is the other one with Clark Duncan, Michael Clark.
Right.
Yeah,
Kingpin.
That's great movie.
Kingpin.
I love the Green
Kingpin.
Mile.
Yeah, the Green Mile's good.
Kingpin, yeah.
But yeah,
give us a Kingpin. I want a Kingpin.
Oh, that's right. I figured.
Yes.
With Michael Clark Duncan, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Any
hell
Kingpin would be nice, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
Man.
But anyway, sorry.
But yeah, that's fine. So again, great film. Very entertaining. Like I said here. And then we have Christoph Waltz again. Here in a Tarantino movie. And there was just a lot of stuff that happens, especially at the end, that I was not expecting. Right? Because what happens there, where the dentist Christoph Waltz just fucking shoots him. He was just like tired of him, and just shoots Candy, and then it's like a whole thing explodes there. Then he ends up getting killed. So it's just a great film. A lot of well written scenes, that, like always, and of course is ridiculously violent in a lot of the scenes in that movie. And it was actually kind of funny too when he shows up with Django shows up with the outfit that he picked. Right, he chose that blue whatever, and then he just he just
so
like,
over the
pops up.
top, man. But
it's just and then we have Jonah Hill and his little cameo scene.
Yes. Oh gosh, Jonah.
That was hilarious. I was like, what the hell's going on? So it's funny when he just brings like these little random cameos that actually work. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll get that. I get that. Makes sense. So I really like this movie. So I'm actually gonna have, I think I do have like a few S-tier level Tarantino movies. And this is gonna be one of them for me too. So this is gonna be S for me.
Wow.
Django. Let's throw it to Brick, Artemis. Actually, let's throw it to Alex, because Alex hasn't started. So go ahead, Alex.
For me, it's an A. It's just like, I love the movie. I think it's great. But I feel that most of the things that I remember are just the comedy parts, which I love. But with all of these other films, like, it's just like, it's and everything. And with this, it's just like the funny parts for me take over most of the movie. But I think it's a great film. I love Leo in it. Sam Jackson's character there was hilarious. Like, everything works in the movie, but for me, it's just a little below what he did in Inglourious Basterds, and it was really, really difficult to, reach that level again. But it's amazing. I still love it.
Yeah, and then we have Billy Goat saying S tier for Django. Final shootout on the plantation is top tier cinema. Then he says he loved Christoph Waltz. So there you go. I count 6. I count 2 guns. Okay, let's not do that one. And then Christian Cooper saying S tier as well. Amazing movie there as well. Let's throw it to Brick. Where would you put Django?
This one might be the hardest one for me. I'm stuck between an A and an S, but I think I'm gonna, because of that, if like when you know it's an S, you know it's an S. So I'm gonna say A, and I will say that I think Django is Tarantino's most iconic character in any of his films. I think even more so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's up there for sure. But I'm with Alex. I don't think that it kind of, I think Inglourious Basterds is just a better film overall. I will say Django is his funniest movie he's ever done. I absolutely love Jamie Foxx in this movie. Christoph Waltz, I think, is amazing as well. He's hilarious, with his little tooth going like this on, and when Django's riding in with a horse and everyone's kind of looking at him, like that whole scene is just hilarious to me. But yeah, I think the end was good. It was fun. It was a little all over the place. But I still give this movie an A. I love rewatching this film too. So
yeah, definitely has that rewatchability factor for sure.
Yeah.
Jose, where you at?
I don't know. I put it up there. I love good revenge movies. I've always been into it. When I was in school, one of my teachers told me, because you did a lot of like free, creative writing. Obviously I was taking classes on it, and she would kind of just tell me that a lot of the themes of my films or the ideas of my stories were often about revenge. And she's like, why are you always like, you always write a protagonist that something bad happens to them and then they're out for revenge? And I'm like, I don't know why. And I give maybe a lot of influence by Tarantino and his films, and I don't know, I just love films where there's like a good revenge plot, or where someone learns a skill, comes back, and does something because of this wrong, right? In this story with him learning to kind of, become a bounty hunter and so on and so forth, and goes and takes his revenge and has that final standoff. It's ridiculous as it is, right? But and all the bloody thing, he kills all Candy's men and so on and so forth, and he's like blows up the thing, and it's just, for me, it just works. I know it's not his best film though, so I put it A, but I really, really enjoy it.
Wow, so I was the only S in this one here. And then it has, the historical part of it as well, little historical
stuff.
Of
course. Yeah.
Which I like. So, all right. So I guess Django is going to be an A. So it'll stick there as an A. Yeah, everyone went, right? Yeah. So you guys went there. All right. Next one is The Hateful Eight. Okay, 2015. Okay, so this movie, I don't know if you did this, Jose, but they were playing this movie at the Irvine Spectrum 70 millimeter. So we went and saw. Actually, I saw it with my cousin that's in the chat right now, Billy Go. Me and him went and saw that at that theater. We saw this movie in 70 millimeters, and it had the intermission and everything. So it's kind of cool. I didn't love this movie the first time I saw it. I watched it. I don't even know why I watched it again if I didn't love it as much as I did, but I did, and I did end up liking it more. From what I recall, I believe the script was leaked, and there was an issue with like Tarantino was maybe not going to do it or whatever, so we didn't know if they was actually still going to make the movie or not. Obviously, he ended up doing it. Great cast, a lot of the same actors that he uses in his movies, like Samuel L. Jackson and what's the guy's name from that plays Abomination? I forgot the actor's name right now.
Tim Roth. Tim Roth.
Oh, Tim Roth. There you go.
Yeah.
So
I'll be right back, Gio.
Okay, sure. So I do think it's a solid movie. It's a beautiful movie. Like, especially since I saw it in the theater, I love like the scenery, the cinematography, the snow. And then we have Kurt Russell and all these other actors. It's another like Western style film. So there's a lot of cool stuff in it, but it's not so much of a rewatchable movie for me. Still good movie, but it will probably be in the lower tier, although definitely not the lowest because I have some other ones that are there. So I would say that The Hateful Eight is going to be more like... probably like a B. I would say it's more like a B for me there. So, and it could also be like between a B and a C. So it's kind of like within that line there. So let's throw it to you, Mr. Brick. Your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I think the problem with this film for me was this came out the same year as Ridiculous 6. And I compared the two a lot. And I didn't take this film very seriously. I'm not a huge Kurt Russell fan either. I'm sorry for anybody who likes Kurt Russell. This to me is my least favorite Tarantino film. Oh, and sure, it was pretty, like you said, the snow. It had a couple good scenes, but I don't know. I didn't like it. It didn't match up for a Western for me. I'm not a Kurt Russell fan, and story-wise, it just didn't compare to these other movies. So I would put it at a D.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sorry.
There you go. A D. So you didn't like Kurt Russell in Guardians?
No. That's my least favorite Guardians film.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind Kurt Russell. He has his moments.
Yeah. I mean, he's not terrible, and he's just kind of the same, like bland, I guess.
Okay.
In my opinion, I mean,
yeah, of course.
I like people that other people don't like. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex, what are your thoughts on The Hateful Eight?
This movie was weird when it came out because it was 2015, and I think I was completely focused on Star Wars, and I didn't care about anything at that
Force
moment.
Awakens.
Yeah. And I remember Tarantino was pissed off because they took away a lot of screens from him.
Oh.
For The Force Awakens, like I remember, like he was with Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, like just bitching about it, like stupid Disney took over my screens. I hate them, but it was weird because the first time I watched it, I didn't love it, didn't hate it. It looked amazing. I actually watched it in LA. I watched it there in 70 millimeters. Oh. But it was like I was expecting something different. And it was like, I don't know, like it didn't do it for me. But the second time I watched it, it was like, this is a good movie. It's not bad. It's different. And it's like Knives Out or Clue is like this whodunit mystery. And it's a good movie. But I think, like, in a way, I feel that he made that movie because he wanted to work with Ennio Morricone. He wanted to have that. He wanted to go back to that style of filmmaking. So I feel that for him, it's more like, I think it's one of those movies that he really wanted to make just because he could, Yeah,
because he still made it, even after the script was leaked.
Yeah. I think like it just meant a lot to him. And the fact that he shot it in 70 millimeters, I think it was his first film that he shot in that format. So it's kind of, it's not his best. I really like it, and it has some funny moments. I would give it B.
All right, solid B. Okay, and the score won the Oscar, I think, right? Was that? I think it did. I don't know if that was his first time winning one, but I know it was kind of like a big deal.
It's the first time that he used like an actual film score and not reused other people's music.
I see.
Because like Kill Bill, in all of the other films, like he uses a lot of Ennio Morricone. He's a huge fan of him. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time that he finally got him to compose something for him. So I think that's why it got nominated. And
yeah, I think it actually did one as well. Because I remember this old Italian guy showing up and getting an Oscar.
I love that guy. One of the best composers.
But yeah, like I said, I think it took me a couple times. I kind of need to rewatch it just to see if it moves up or moves
Watch
down.
the extended cut. Netflix, I think they still have it. They have a 4 or 5 hour cut. Like they divided it into chapters. It has more scenes, and it plays like a TV show. Like I really, really liked it. I don't know if it's still in there though.
Yeah. So that's The Hateful Eight. So we'll wait for Jose to actually grade this one here. But so far we have D from Brick Vega. We have B for Alex. B for me. So we'll see what Mr. Jose says when he comes back here. Let's see.
Yeah, I guess for me it just doesn't really stick out, like some of his a lot of his other films do. It doesn't really compare too much. So I don't want to, like, for me personally, don't want to put it up there with like Django or other films that we'll get to in the future. So I'm trying to like compare it. So I'm not saying like I hate this movie. If I hated it, I would have put it at F. I think it's like one of his one of my least favorite films by him, even though it's by far superior than like much more stuff that we're getting these days from other directors. But yeah, I'm just trying to grade it that way.
Alrighty, so let's move on to the next one here. Okay, the next one is Jackie Brown with Pam Grier, Samuel Jackson, Robert De Niro. I just rewatched this movie yesterday, actually. So
this is one that I wanted to rewatch because I've only seen this one time.
Me too. Up until yesterday,
and I wasn't able to rewatch it this past week like I wanted to. But
okay, yeah. But I know that was like a last minute thing to be like, oh, you guys want to do this Tarantino list? But so I completely understand that. I was able to watch it because I was working from home yesterday and Thursday, so I'm able to like play stuff in the background while I work on paperwork or whatever. So I was able to watch it, and I've seen it before, like many years ago, like over 10 years ago or probably 15 years ago. And I didn't really like it. Found it to be kind of dull. The story was kind of basic to me. And then after rewatching this movie, I had forgotten all these actors that were in it because I had forgotten that Michael Keaton was in it. And like I mentioned, Robert De Niro. And I always knew that Pam Grier was in it, but rewatching it, I did find it to be a little better than my first experience 15 years ago. I still don't think it's among the best Tarantino movies. I like Pam Grier. I think Pam Grier was like in, wasn't she like in a lot of the movies in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that? And I'm pretty sure Tarantino was a fan of her work. Right. So I'm sure he wanted her in his movies, and he got her, and she was great and everything. I just don't find it to be amongst the best Tarantino movies, and I don't really feel the need to rewatch it. Maybe like in the next 10 years or so or something. I don't know. If like Tarantino dies or something, let's go and rewatch all the Tarantino movies or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna say Jackie Brown. And actually, I did like Samuel Jackson in particular, especially in this movie. Because I know he was in it, but I had forgotten he did play a pretty big role in this movie, and he did very well in here. I'm gonna have to say Jackie Brown is probably gonna be like a C for me. So that's Jackie Brown, C. So I'm gonna throw it to Mr. Alex. See what your thoughts are there.
For me, it's a B. This, like when I watched it, I think I was very young and stupid, and I didn't understand. Like I thought, like when you're younger, like I think that you get thrown away by like slow paced stories, and this one is kind of slow, and it's just like the story happens, and it just flows. There's nothing iconic happening that keeps your attention there. It's a weird way of storytelling. But as I grew older, I started appreciating it more. And when I was in film school in 2012, Guillermo Navarro, who is the cinematographer for the movie, went to my film school to give a talk because he was working on a show in Canada. What's the name? It was a Guillermo del Toro show. I think it's called The Strain, from a book he did. He was directing a few episodes there. So I had a chance to talk with him about it. And just by hearing the cinematographer like telling me stuff about how it was working in the film, how Tarantino thinks and all that stuff, like it made me like it a lot more, just because I had like that insight for someone who worked in that movie. And I kind of understood more about what he was trying to do and how this movie, like it's I think it's like Django. It's trying to do the same as Django, but different. It's more serious. It's more like trying to create a tribute to a certain style of films that were popular in a certain era, and they're not anymore back in what was it, 97?
Right, 97.
But I don't know. I do like it. I like Robert De Niro's role in it. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I was wondering what De Niro's part was going to be in that movie. I was like, is he just in it just because because Tarantino wanted De Niro in a film? Because he's not really doing anything much in that movie.
I think I read about it, and he was like, he wanted him there. Like after Pulp Fiction, everybody wanted to work with Tarantino, and he was in a position where he could get almost everyone. So like he got Michael Keaton, he got Robert De Niro, and I think like Robert De Niro was going to have another role, if I'm not mistaken. And he wanted somebody else. Oh, he wanted the guy, I forgot his name, the guy who died, the vacuum guy from Breaking Bad. What's his name?
I don't remember now.
Well, that actor, the one who falls in love with Pam Grier. Robert De Niro was gonna wanted that role, but Tarantino was like, no, this role was written for this guy.
Oh, I see.
And that role actually got him an Oscar nomination, and also Pam Grier, I think. His career got back on track after that movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it seemed kind of odd. It's like, oh, De Niro's it. Like I had forgotten, like I said, that he was in it, and then I kind of remembered why after rewatching it. It's like he doesn't really do much until the very end. He kind of does something, but it's kind of like, especially for De Niro, like it's the iconic Robert De Niro, and then he had that weird role. I was like, okay. Brick, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think I would put Jackie Brown at a C. And I don't want to be too harsh on it because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen this film. I might have been like 15 years old when I saw this, but I do remember in '97 I would have been 8, and going to the movies with my mom or whoever, and this trailer I feel like played on everything. Jackie Brown, like it was just like everywhere. So that's something I'll always remember. But yeah, man, it's Samuel L. Jackson. I don't remember De Niro being in this movie at all. So I'm with you on that. I do remember Michael Keaton. Yeah, I mean, I'd put it right in the middle there at C. But I'd have to see it again. This is, like I said, one that I wanted to rewatch because I wanted to be able to talk about it. But unfortunately, I can't say too much because I don't even remember the ending, quite frank. Like when you said De Niro did something, I'm like, wait, I still don't remember him being in the film. So
I think that's actually the best scene in the whole movie. Well, the best sequence. They're in a shopping mall. And I think that's like the most iconic movie is the scene in the whole movie. Like it's where the pacing gets a lot better because it's a really slow burn film.
It really is.
But watch it again.
I will.
Do it.
It is.
I think you'll like it more.
It is like 2 hours and 34 minutes or something like that. So
but it's good. It's
pretty long.
I don't think Tarantino has bad films, if I'm honest.
No, I honestly don't.
It's
either.
Like F level. No, I wouldn't say that. But there's something I was gonna say now. I completely forgot. Okay, well, I don't know. So you said it's a C, Brick, Alex, B.
Yes.
I said C. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and move it up or grade them, and then when Jose comes back, we'll take his take, and then if we need to adjust it, of course, we'll move.
And then he'll be able to see too, like where it's at. And he's like, "Oh, wait, that's on C. Like, what's going on here?"
Right. So let's see. So we got going back to the Hateful Eight. Okay, so based on those grades, I think Hateful Eight is going to be a C. And then Jackie Brown is going to be a C as well. But it'll probably be higher than Hateful Eight based on those grades there. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. All right, next one. Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction, I think this is probably like the main movie that's really got Tarantino well known. Like he was pretty known, I guess, in like Hollywood circles, I would guess, after Reservoir Dogs. But I think this is the one that really got him like big. I would think. I don't really remember that much. I mean, of course, I was alive in '94, but I remember this was kind of a big movie. It's got a lot of Oscar nominations, including Best Picture and Director. Tarantino got the nomination for directing. And this movie he co-wrote with, I forget the other writer's name. I guess he's like canceled now or something. But so they won the Oscar for Pulp Fiction. And yeah, this movie is definitely not linear. It's like all over the place, but it kind of works the way that it was done. A lot of cool, memorable scenes. Of course, great acting. I think, if I remember correctly, I think John Travolta was in a time in his career that was kind of not doing so well, and then he started or co-starred in this movie, got him an Oscar nomination, and then got him rolling again, right? Then we saw those big John Travolta movies, action movies afterwards, right? So this is the one that did it. I mean, he still didn't win or anything, but and then Samuel Jackson with that biblical versus scenes that he does, which is iconic, and of course, a lot of those dialogue-driven scenes, probably the most iconic ones, I would say, are in this movie. You know, talking about the quarter pounder with cheese and the royale with cheese or whatever. And everyone's like telling him, like, or him telling everyone about that he was in Amsterdam. And then, of course, we have Uma Thurman. She got an Oscar nomination for that as well. So it's a very solid, great film, I would say. I don't feel is as rewatchable for me as the other ones. So it might like lower that a little bit. I didn't like that scene with Bruce Willis when he's like doing the whole boxing thing and then they're in the hotel with the girl or whatever. I didn't care for that scene. But that would probably be like the only scene that I didn't care for in the entire movie. And it was also pretty long. It was like 2.5 hours, I think, or something like that. Music. A lot of the music in Tarantino movies are also great choices. This particular movie definitely has a lot of them. And it's just a good, solid film. So for me, I'm going to say it's an A. It's not really S tier for me. But I would definitely say it's an A. So that's Pulp Fiction. I'll throw it to Rick.
Yeah, so Pulp Fiction is probably... No, it is a top 5 favorite movie of all time.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely love this film. I love everything about it, every scene, every actor. It just, the randomness when, you know, when Bruce Willis goes in to save the, what's his name? I should know his name. When he's down in the basement. Yeah. Like that. I showed this movie to my nephew when he was like 17 years old.
Oh wow!
And he was like, "What is going on?" Like, wow. Yeah. You know, when he goes back, or you know, when he's got to get his watch, the beginning scene when they're talking about like, you know, rubbing her feet, and when they have to like inject her, like everything about this movie. Yeah. I use that joke, like the ketchup joke, all the time to people.
Oh, you do?
Like, and especially when they haven't seen this movie, like it's perfect. But yeah, I mean, I love this movie, and I also there's some like cool little things about this. You guys were talking about like Robert De Niro and stuff. Johnny Depp was going to play the Tim Roth part in this, and then I think Eddie Murphy was going to play Jules. So there was like some competition there or something. I'm not sure what happened, but that would have been interesting.
I think Johnny Depp was gonna do Dead Man with Jim Jarmusch. I think
yeah. Okay. But yeah. I mean, I love this movie. It's Pulp Fiction. It's an S tier for sure. And I would put this above Inglourious Bastards. The only one above Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, okay. Alex, I'm sure you have some thoughts on Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah. It sucks. No. This is like his most quotable film ever made. Like everyone knows a quote about this movie. Like everyone knows Royale with cheese.
Yep.
Like give me.
That used to be my gamer tag in Xbox. Royale with cheese.
What says bad mother? It's like.
Oh, that's right. The wallet.
Yeah, everything about this movie is iconic, and I think like. I always hated that people say that Tarantino copies other movies. He does not copy other movies. He loves film. He's one of the very few directors who actually watches a shit ton of movies. Yeah. He really is into it. And he has so many references to all these movies because he's someone so educated in film. there's so many tiny references in his movies to other films. Like here, there's when they're dancing in the diner.
Oh yeah.
They're dancing exactly like in Federico Fellini's movie 8.5. And it's not copying the scene. It's such an iconic movie, and if you can bring that part back from a really artsy movie to the mainstream world, that's huge. That's huge. It's a way of introducing cinema, different cinema, to a broader audience, and he does this a lot in every single one of his movies. So for me, Pulp Fiction, like beyond being like a super iconic movie for me, that it's also in my top 10 movies of all time. I think like everybody says that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's a love letter to cinema. For me, Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds are love letters to cinema. Like it's such a beautiful movie to watch, even with the violence and all the stuff. Like it's for me, it's a perfect film, and it's an S. Even when I personally like Inglourious Basterds more, but this is a masterpiece, and it will go in film history for the rest of our lives, or even more.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Even though it's not S tier for me, I would agree with all that. Yeah. So we got S from Brick, S from Alex, A from me. So I'll go ahead and rank it here, and then, like I said, once Jose comes back, we'll adjust it if we need to. So for right now, Pulp Fiction is an S. All right, so moving on to the next film, which is, what is it? Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We got Leo, we got Brad Pitt, we have Margot Robbie. I wasn't a huge fan of this movie. So, and then Jose's not here yet. Yeah, he's not here yet. There's definitely good things in it, like always, right? Tarantino still. I liked the ending and how he changed things around again historically, like he did with Inglourious Basterds. It was a cool, crazy, over the top scene when it comes to what happens to the Manson family and all that stuff. I didn't find the story in this as intriguing as other Tarantino stories. I'm not entirely sure why. It has a lot of like old Hollywood, and like you said, it's a love letter to Hollywood. I feel like there's a lot of scenes of just showing like the city, like LA or whatever, during that era. Like there's just a lot of sequences of just him filming that. Well, I think it was what's her face, Margot Robbie's character, which I know is based on the actress. There you go. Can't remember her name. Just driving around town or whatever. So there was a lot of those scenes that I didn't really care for. Like, it's cool to see it for a short period of time, but I feel like he was doing it a lot in this movie. So overall, like I said, the story just wasn't strong enough for me, at least not entertaining for me. The acting's always great. Dialogue's always great. Everything is top notch. It's just a movie that I want to rewatch. It's not for me. So Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think I'm gonna have to give it, and then maybe they'll wake up Jose. I think I'm gonna give it a C for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'm back. Someone said me. What happened?
So that's,
where are we? No, don't tell me. We're on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
We're on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and we have all consensus. The consensus is it's gonna be a D. For Once Upon a Time. Just kidding.
No.
So
no, that is not allowed.
I just gave my thoughts, and my grade is going to be a C. But go ahead and take it. Go ahead, Jose.
No, that's unacceptable. But wait, can you guys, just because I didn't get the chance to hear it, what is the general consensus as to why you guys are rating it C and D, Alex?
No.
Only Gio has gone. Nobody else has gone.
Yeah, right. Only I've gone.
Okay. All right.
I was
just giving me a heart attack here, man. What's going on? I was like, to tell me that Alex and Brick are allergic to good filmmaking. What's going on here, man? Like,
yes.
That was like, no way. No, I'm teasing you guys.
But I did give it a C though. But go ahead.
C. Okay. And then okay, hold on. I'm sorry. So we missed. Sorry. So sorry about
Jackie
that, guys.
Brown. Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, and Hateful Eight, I believe.
Yeah, we'll go back to those. We'll go back to those for you.
Okay. I don't know, man. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I had such a great time with that film. I know it doesn't hit with everyone, but I am a sucker for anything old, classic Hollywood, 1960s. I love those scenes. A lot of people were like, I find those scenes really redundant where he's driving in the car, listening to music and just going down, Los Angeles and Hollywood and
That's
just
exactly
driving
what
around.
Gio said.
Yeah. And I love those scenes. I'm sorry. I think they're so cool. I see myself in those scenes, like driving around. I was growing up, I always loved driving in the city, listening to music for whatever reason. When gas prices were, $1 or $2, right? Long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. And I don't know, man. I just had so much fun. And obviously we talk about, the revisionist history that he does with the Manson murders at the end. It's just, there was the payoff with the dog and the dog food at the beginning that he sets up. That's so well executed in that scene where he goes or whatever he does to that dog. And he's just like, and I love dogs, man. And the way he has that dog trained, ready to go. And it's so funny. I was talking about with somebody recently about how like dogs can sense those kind of things. Like, you won't even say anything to your dog, but there's certain dogs that, like, if they sense animosity with you and someone with like who's talking to you, they suddenly just start growling, without anything, like you don't tell them, like, you don't say anything, they just start growling. And what he does in that scene is so good, man. It's just so well executed. It's so violent. It's so and then talk about the casting too. I'm like, Leo and Brad Pitt, on the camaraderie that they have in that film works so well on so many levels. I totally feel like they actually are friends that are hanging out, and I love that vibe of that film. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like a good time, and it's so funny. And he's like, "Don't cry in front of the Mexicans." You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that.
And the music, the soundtrack, like what the needle drops, whatever you want to call them, perfect executed. I have the poster hanging in my room. I have the vinyl of the soundtrack. I obviously am wearing the shirt of Sharon Tate, and I love how they do her justice. Sharon Tate was obviously involved, as a advisor. I'm sorry, Sharon Tate, obviously not, but Sharon Tate's sister was advised. And an advisor, and she, obviously she's still alive. She was young, but she's still alive, and remembers her sister very well, and kind of her mannerisms and how she would talk and act. And she definitely said that Margot, definitely had her spirit in her performance. So I think that they did her justice, and they definitely showed. A lot of people also say, like, you could always cut her out of the story and you don't really miss anything, but I don't know, Gio, if that's what you said as well, but
I didn't,
but a lot of people say that, but a lot of the criticism is in regards to that. But I personally think that it was nice that they showed, because like they oftentimes with depictions of the Sharon Tate situation, it's always about like her death, right, and how she died. And yeah, and with this, it's about like kind of what her daily life was, right? Just this regular day of her life, and I thought that was really interesting, and to kind of, in a way, for her family to have that scene where they fucking kill all those Manson murder followers or whatever, you know what I mean? Like those guys, and they just go off on there. And then Mickey Madison, again, if you guys are a Scream fan, she gets burned in this film again. Or what's it? This is first, right? And then she gets burned again in Scream, which is so funny because so she has a habit. But that's such a great scene where he pulls out the flamethrower. The way they set that up too. Man, the way they set that up with him in the movie, right? And then like he was trying to like learn how to use it, and then he's like, "Don't worry, I got this," and he just Oh man, and then she's like, she goes into the pool and shit. Oh man, I don't know, man. I'm all for that movie. I know that people have its criticisms about it, but I just feel so passionate about it. For me, I think I'm not gonna say it's his best film, so I wouldn't say S, but I think it's up there, and I would say A tier for this film.
Okay. All right. So we got an A and we got a C.
And
Alex.
sorry, I talk so much. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. It's perfectly fine.
I talked a lot too about Pulp Fiction.
That's okay. That's why I have you guys on.
I always talk a lot, so
so
my problem. Sorry, now I'm the one coughing. Going back to what Jose was saying, like, yeah, a lot of people say that you can't cut Margot Robbie part out and it wouldn't affect the story. It's like saying that you can cut the little girl in Schindler's List and it wouldn't affect the story, because it does. It's showing up innocence in the movie, like that. The way she acts, it's like you're seeing someone innocent, someone who has no malice in her. Like she's just there, and there's a lot of evil around her. Like so, it's a reflection of innocence. So you can't cut her out, because then the whole payoff at the end when they kill the Manson family people wouldn't be meaningful, because then that part is completely cut. So I don't know, like,
yeah, absolutely.
Going back to the movie itself, like, it's not my favorite. I think it's a great movie, and this movie for me, it has more iconic scenes than Django. Like for me, that scene with Bruce Lee, it's incredible.
Oh
like I could kill you with my hands.
Oh yeah.
And just Brad Pitt, like, oh yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah. It's so cool. And the fact that Bruce Lee's family was so mad at it.
Oh yeah.
I love those little things, and that Tarantino doesn't give a damn what people think. Like I love that. Like he's like, this is my movie and I'm gonna do whatever I want. It's a very beautiful theme. Like I said, for me, Pulp Fiction and Inglourious Basterds are more love letters to cinema than this, because this is too obvious for me that it's trying to create a love letter to Hollywood.
Yeah, to old Hollywood. Mm-hmm.
But I still think like the movie is great. I understand why some people would not feel as connected as other with it.
Yeah.
I think like I don't live in LA, but it's a city that's meaningful to me because it means movies. Yes. It means many things. And for me, it's like it's always been like the city of dreams, and the way he portrays it, the like I was saying, like the cars and all these shots, like I don't know, they just touch it in a different way if you have feelings for that city. It's like La La Land when you see the city in.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
like it's kind of like that. So for me, I would give it, it's difficult. I would say it's an A.
All right, so we got an A.
Yeah.
And let me just go to the live chat real quick here. Aunt Jemima dropping by here says, my favorite is next, which is Death Proof. Yeah, so we'll definitely get into that in a bit. Thank you so much for dropping by, Aunt Jemima. Really appreciate it. And then we have Mr. Calvin dropping by as
Aunt
well.
Jemima called now? What's the name of Aunt Jemima now?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know what it's called now, but
I have to look it up. But it's something like
yeah. Mr. Calvin dropping by saying, "Now look at this motley
Pearl
crew."
Mining, Pearl Milling Company.
Oh, is that what that is? I don't even know, but again, going back
Pearl
here,
Milling Company.
Mr. Calvin saying, "Now look at this motley crew." What's up, gentlemen? Hello there, Mr. Calvin. Thank you so much again
Calvin.
for dropping
What's up,
by.
Calvin?
Greatly appreciate it there. All right, so we have Alex giving Once Upon a Time in Hollywood an A, Jose an A, me a C. So let's see what Brick says.
Oh, it leaves it up to me.
Oh no. Our friendship rides in the balance right here.
So
it seems like it's a daily thing.
So I agree with everything that Alex and Jose said. Way more okay than no offense, Gio, than Gio.
Wow.
The problem, I love the acting. Or the actors, I should say. I was so hyped for this movie. This was like Margot Robbie, like, you know, Brad Pitt in a big movie again, Leonardo DiCaprio. Wasn't this like a little bit after the movie that he did with Tom Hardy, his Academy Award? Revenant.
It was a few years.
A few years later,
Yeah,
like 4 years after.
but he didn't really do too much since then, right? Like it was, I feel like he only did like one movie, if anything.
Probably, yeah.
So I was really excited for this film. I love the Sharon Tate. I mean, I shouldn't say I love the Sharon Tate story, but I love that he brought it into this film. However, the whole time I'm watching this movie, I knew exactly what was going to happen at the end of the film. I knew he was going to switch it up because of what we saw with Inglourious Bastards. I was like, they are not going to let this girl die in this movie. So that brings my rating down slightly, just because it was so predictable in my mind. Now, it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a phenomenal film. But I would give it a B. I would give it a B. I felt like there could have been a little bit more depth in the main characters, a little bit more substance, I guess, with them. But other than that, it was a great film. So, Jose, I hope we're still friends.
No,
but everything that you guys said, everything that Jose said, especially, and Alex, like, made me want to almost change my grade to an A. But the whole how predictable it was. I mean, I didn't know how they were going to die, but I was like, they're going to die. So it just, I don't know. It was too much like Inglourious Bastards. It's like, Tarantino, you're better than that. Be different. Like, don't do the same thing that we've seen you do in another movie. And it was just too much of the same for me.
Okay. So based on those grades, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to be in a high B, like a B plus. Around.
I disagree. I disagree. Alex is with me.
Yeah, because I
think hold on. Don't move on. Brick, I think you need to change your grade.
Okay.
I think you need to change your. No, I'm sorry. Even on average, I think even if you change his grade.
So
even if you change his grade, because Gio rated it so low, it would never, it wouldn't be able to go to it.
Yeah, because we got one B, we got two A's, and then we got a C. So I can't give it an A.
Not a C though, Jose.
So that's
definitely not a C.
Gio, but tell me one more time, like you rank it that low at C, like you wouldn't reassess it and think, okay, I could give it a B, or you're okay with it being at a B?
Not really. I don't care.
Why? Why though?
I don't care. I don't care for rewatching this movie. Like I said, it's not bad. It's not a D or an F, but there's a lot those scenes of just driving around just to show the town. Okay, that's cool, like for a little bit, but not like so often. And I just didn't find the story that's compelling, just overall.
Do you hate like where you're from? Like, you're from here,
what
man. Like you, it's like because that's like, because it's like for me, it's like like to me, it's like when he's driving around, he's showing you old Hollywood. He's showing you it's like cool. For me, it's like you're watching a little bit of you in it, because it's like we're from here. We're from the alley area. Well, I mean, I'm Orange County, but we're all from Southern California. Like, you're seeing kind of this kind of dream-esque way of point of view of Hollywood, right? From a perspective that, we probably wouldn't, like, we will never see because we weren't born in that era. So it's like, I enjoy those car rides. I feel like I'm going on that ride and I'm seeing back, like I'm sitting back in time and seeing that's Hollywood.
That's fine. That's fine
eyes.
When it comes
so
to
it's like
going on a ride, but I'm going to watch a movie, and story is kind of important to me, and I just didn't find
what's wrong with the story though? Like
I just
specifically with you,
I didn't find it interesting. I didn't find that compelling. I just wasn't.
You don't find the idea of an actor who's currently struggling with his identity of
I've seen
whether
that.
he's a good actor.
I feel like I've seen that.
You don't
story
like the
before.
performances, and then also the Brad Pitt character struggling with, he's been accused of a murder, and then it's kind of a gray area whether he did or didn't.
No, I understand. I
And-
understand all that.
and-
But those are good components to the movie, and that's why, like I said, it's
Well,
not
we're talking about
right now.
storyline. No, so, and I'm not trying to argue with you, Gio. You know, I love you.
I
I'm
understand.
just saying.
No,
I
I
want to know.
understand.
I want to know specifically, because you're saying I don't like the story. It didn't work for me. Tell me, what is it specifically about the story? Like, tell me. Like, you're just like, well, I don't care for it, but why though? Because it's things you've seen already before, or like, what is?
Yeah,
it
I mean, like I said, it wasn't something that I haven't seen before. Yeah, there's a struggling actor. Okay, yeah, I've seen that many times. We're going to the whole historical thing with the Manson family or whatever. So I knew that they were going to change that up, like what Brick said. Acting is great. I was expecting that. You know, all the scenes were great, shot well. Music is great as well, and everything. But I just didn't do it for me. I mean, that's all I really can tell you. I mean, I can't tell you and go into the whole story and the script and analyze every component of it to tell you why I didn't like it. I just didn't. Some movies hit and some don't, and it's just what it is.
No, I totally understand that perspective. I just thought you might have like, hey, you know, like specifically like this part didn't work for me, or this part, like you might have like specifics, and then that way we can discuss it. But if it's just an overview, just general, like it didn't hit for me, then I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the movie once, and I didn't care to wanting to rewatch it because of the overall story,
Like me with
the
Marvel
overall
movies.
experience. Yeah,
But it's like, yeah, and like to bring up the Marvel
Alex?
movies, like the Marvel movies, like, you know, Marvel movies, superhero movies in general, they most of the times, especially, you know, MCU films, they'll follow a formula, right? So it's like, you know, they rinse and repeat, right? Oftentimes it's always kind of like, you follow the structure of those movies, they kind of do the same thing, right? Something happens, a problem is presented, a villain is introduced,
Right.
they have a problem,
But
yada,
you
yada,
don't
yada.
expect Tony Stark to do that. You know, that's what makes those movies more special than.
And that's what makes that movie special.
Yeah,
Right.
like you
I
don't
don't want-
like the MCU did something,
Or
and
even
I get what you're
Infinity
saying,
War.
Jose. Like there are a lot of MCU movies that do that exactly, but there are
Yeah.
a few that.
Well, I mean,
you're
yeah,
just like,
and you're bringing up,
whoa, like,
you're bringing up exceptions, but what I'm saying,
Yeah.
we're talking in broad terms here, right? We're talking in broad terms. It's like a lot of those films are well regarded, and people give them positive reviews, but it's a lot of the same old. So it's like saying I don't
But
like
this is
this movie
Tarantino
because
that we're talking about. Like,
No,
like
I
I,
get
said,
that. I
like I
get
just
that.
feel like
It's
he's
like-
better than that. He shouldn't do something that he's already done before.
it's like there's like you said, like there's thousands of movies about struggling actors, right? And it's like, so it's like there's thousands of movies of superheroes or whatever. So it's like, go ahead, Alex, you got a point. Go ahead, jump in.
I think that the thing here is like, if we go and say he shouldn't do what he has done before, then we would start bitching about Spielberg's filmography entirely. Because he's my favorite director, but he repeats the same formula over and over and over again. Like, it's family values and family getting back together and a child who grows without a father and all this stuff. Like, it's repeating like subjects. And I don't think like the problem, like I understand the complaint that, okay, it's very similar to Glorious Bastards, so you know what's gonna happen. But I forgot what my point was, but yeah. You know,
I gave it a B. I gave it a B comparing to all these. other guys.
No, it's really cool. I just think that it's funny how sometimes we, all of us, not Dubrick, like I think all of us sometimes are like very, we judge something like, oh, this is trying to be like, even superhero movies, like, oh, this is just like, it's the same as the other one. Well, what can we expect? It's the same brand. They have to do certain things. Like Tarantino is a brand of itself. So he's going to repeat certain things. Like all of his movies are divided in chapters. Like most of his movies are non-linear. Like he repeats things, and that's what makes it a Tarantino film.
Yeah.
And
100%.
it's just that, like, I don't know.
I don't know. It was just the way that it was.
I understand. Like I could never make you like something that you don't.
Right,
And I
right.
think
So
like
you
forcing
can't.
someone to
it's
think the way you do it's
right.
insane.
So
And that's never my intention here either,
Yeah.
Gio. I wasn't trying to get you to change
No,
your
no, no, I
score.
understand
I was trying to kind of like dig deeper as
I
to
understand.
why, and that's kind of what you like. I was like, okay, what is it that specifically? So that way we can kind of have a dialogue about it. But if you don't know specifically, and it was just kind of an overview where like I watched it once, wasn't my favorite, and that's what it is. Well, that makes sense too, you know. Like you don't need to validate why you don't like something. It's just I was curious as to why, you know.
right. So like I said, I saw that movie one time, and the experience wasn't enough for me to want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, well, I can't really analyze, a specific scene that did it for me. Just the overall experience of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't quite do it for me. Like I said, I could recognize certain scenes, certain moments that it was done well and things like that, and that's why it's not a D or an F. But ultimately, that's not a movie that I think of like, oh, Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yes, that's the movie. No, for me, it's not.
Yeah.
So
you know, he actually shot in Irvine for the 2 seconds that they show that Taco Bell scene. When one of those driving scenes, he shot here in Irvine because they have one of the, like, I think it's like the second location they ever opened of Taco Bell here in Irvine. It's run down. It's like not there anymore, but he like was able to like kind of like bring it back to life for that one scene. They shot for like a day and a half or so. It's like an Irvine Tustin area, and they shot for like 2 days or so there, and they blocked out that whole area. And in the movie, it's there for like 2 seconds, but it took that long. But yeah.
Sorry, I had to cough there.
Are we all friends?
Let me.
I think of you differently now. I can't do this video anymore.
Because I said something about Marvel, or because I
no, you're fine. I think we all have really good valid points on this.
Yeah, like I've always hated when people get super angry just because you think different. You know, like it's what makes conversations cool.
No, absolutely. That's why I was like, that's why I like. I'm not, like I said, I'm not challenging Gio. I'm just curious because his perspective is I value his opinion, and his perspective would be like, I want to see his perspective, oh, like this specifically didn't work, this specifically didn't work, and I could be like, oh, okay, like I could totally see why, that's it,
well, and you really like this movie too, so you want to like see someone else's perspective on the opposite side and like just kind of pick his brain a little bit, and that's all.
Yeah, but good conversation there. So Mr. Calvin says West Side.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Calvin says West Side, West Coast is the best coast. Hold it down.
Yep.
So
that's right, Calvin. That's right.
And then 1 Adam 12 dropping by. Hello, Mr. Adam says, awesome panel. I have your father's watches. So thank you so much, Adam. There. Let's see. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Reservoir Dogs should be A's. He says. I agreed on S tier.
I needed you. I
gave
Adam.
both an A. I gave both
Adam,
an A.
I gave it an A too. I needed you here, man. If you gave it an A, we would have gotten a little higher there, but.
Yeah, and actually, let's go back to you. Everyone, we already did the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
Yes,
we have 2 left, but let's go back to the ones that you didn't get a chance to rank, Jose.
Okay. Yes.
Which were the Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah, the Hateful Eight. Where did we end up on that one? C?
Yes. Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
it
C?
is.
Yeah.
Low C, yeah.
Low C on that one. Yeah, I remember that one not being my favorite. I know, didn't they expand upon it? Didn't they do like a Netflix 6 episode?
Yeah, I was telling you guys.
Like
they did like a 5-hour, 4-hour version.
I have not seen that, so I can't compare it and see if that improves. But from what I remember, I think I've only seen that once, and I didn't like it as much. So I think I would be okay with the C tier that you guys chose. So
okay,
don't really have much to add on that one. I mean, I do like the element. I think that's the one where kind of like they're all like not really necessarily who they say they are, and they're kind of trying to figure each other out. And yeah, I remember.
How about Jackie Brown?
Jackie Brown, not my favorite either. I like her. I do find it her character compelling, and then her relationship with oh my god, I'm totally forgetting that guy.
Cherry guy.
I'm trying to remember. You know where I know him from? He's in this one movie with Matthew McConaughey and Jen Gardner, where like the ghost of girlfriends past.
Oh yeah,
and he's like the sergeant, and I know him from the sergeant. Yeah, Robert Foster.
Robert Foster.
Yeah, that's the vacuum guy from Breaking Bad. That's the one I was.
Yeah.
I was saying.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, I totally was spacing out there. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
I like the relationship they have there.
Yeah, there we go.
But I think I'm okay with C. I might put it higher. I think it's a little underrated because of his other films, but I think C's okay. Like I would do higher C probably, but I'm okay with that.
Well, then I give it a B.
Probably a B minus. Yeah.
Give it a B, I think.
So you would give it a B or a C?
I would probably give it a B minus.
B minus. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see if that changes a bit. I think it'll still be okay with this. Like a high C. So where is it now? Let's see.
C.
So so it's gonna. This is Jackie Brown, right?
Yeah.
No, Jackie Brown's
Jackie
the first
Brown's
one.
to the left. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jackie Brown. Yeah, it'll stay where it's at. Yeah, that's fine where it is.
Okay.
All right. So then the other one that you didn't. Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, man. They made us analyze this film to death in school, man. Which got a little annoying, but I really enjoyed enjoyed the aspects of kind of like how he implemented the non-linear storyline with this film, and kind of like it was funny because they kind of made us break it down in terms of linear storytelling. So they kind of made us kind of like one of the things we had to do was rearrange those scenes in linear fashion and kind of see how they end up and why certain scenes were placed in the way that he ended up placing them, right? I enjoy this movie a lot. I think it's the one that I've seen probably the most. So I'm okay with S tier. I think it's one of his best work, if not his best work. It's debatable, I think, obviously. But I don't disagree with the S tier. I think it stays there.
All right. So now let's see where it moves within the S tier.
Okay.
So we got Inglourious Basterds. Okay. We have exactly the same amounts of rankings. So I guess we'll leave it like that for now.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me move Pulp Fiction a little higher since it is more iconic, I feel, overall.
Okay.
Than Inglourious Basterds.
Poor Alex.
I don't necessarily agree because remember I gave it an A, but we're not getting into that right now. But
what did you guys, Alex? What did you give it?
An S.
You gave
an S. Yeah, for me both. Yeah, but I like personally. I like Inglourious Basterds more.
Yeah.
Me too. Pulp Fiction is more iconic.
I'm the same as Alex. 100%. I gave it an S, but I'm the opposite, where I think Pulp Fiction is. I like Pulp Fiction more.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the only two.
No, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there too.
Yeah. The next one here, I think we're all caught up there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we have Death Proof and Kill Bill. So Death Proof, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one, actually.
Kill Bill, you're only counting as one film?
Yes.
I know that's messing me up right now. I'm not sure where to put it.
Yeah, so I'm going to count as one film because I think that was the intention. And when it comes to the 9 films, they count it as one.
And he's trying to do that. Like, that's kind of his loophole for making Kill Bill 3, right? Are you going to get into that when we talk about it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. But Death Proof, that was part of the movie that came with the Grindhouse.
Planet Terror.
With Planet Terror, the Robert Rodriguez situation there. I saw that in the theater, and I didn't really like this movie. It's probably going to be like I said, there's always good things in the Tarantino movies, right? And I feel like I say this every single time. When it comes to the dialogue, all of his films are well written. It's just a matter of which ones are more memorable for you. This one, I don't even remember much of it. I just remember watching it, not caring for it. Kurt Russell's in it. And who else was in this movie? Wasn't Rosario Dawson? She was in that, right?
That's
yeah.
Yeah, because Kurt Russell was like a stuntman Mike or something like that. And I remember there was
That's
a lot
correct.
of there was a lot of close-ups of him eating that were kind of nasty to me. So
the stunt from Uma Thurman in Kill Bill is one of the lead.
So the eating bothers you, Gio, but has anyone brought up the repeated shots of feet or not yet?
No.
What's wrong with feet, bro?
We haven't gone to
No,
that.
I'm just saying. You know, it's just,
You're not a feet guy?
They're all over the film. I'm just all.
Yeah, because I think Tarantino has a foot fetish or whatever. But anyways, this movie is low for me. I'm probably gonna say it's gonna be like let's see. I only saw this movie once. Also, I think all the other movies I've seen more than once. So maybe like a low C, maybe high D, somewhere around there. I'll stick to low C for now. So low C for me for Death Proof. But let's start with Mr. Brick.
So this is a movie I have not seen, so I can't really rank it.
Oh, okay, that's right. I think you did tell me that.
But Kurt Russell's in it, and I know I'd give it a D at least. So
just because of Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the villain of that movie.
Mm-hmm. He's stuntman.
And I think this is kind of short too. Actually, it might be this one or Reservoir Dogs being the shorter movies that he's made. Alex, how about you?
This is my least favorite film. I would even go to say that I don't like it. It's not for me. It's, I don't know, like I was excited for the double feature. I didn't watch it in theaters. They didn't show it in Mexico. But I bought the Blu-ray or DVD, I don't remember what it was, and you had both of them together, Planet Terror and Death Proof. I had a lot of fun with Planet Terror, and then I played Death Proof, and it was like, it's I guess it's okay. I don't see the point, and what I don't like here is that it doesn't feel like a Tarantino movie for me. Like, unless you go for the feed shots and all these little things that go into, oh yeah, this is a Tarantino movie. Like, I don't see the smart dialogue in the movie. I don't see all those things, and it's funny because he was also the cinematographer. He was the cinematographer for this movie too. It's like it was like super run and gun film. Like it's so weird that he shot it and he didn't bring, like, probably he didn't have the money to bring Robert Richardson.
And Jemima, y'all are killing me. He's about to check out right now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he was so excited, like, oh yeah, Death Proof, and not a fan. I would give it a D.
A D?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
Okay, all right.
The only other D.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And Jemima says, can't go wrong with car chases and badass chicks. So there you go. Oh, Mr. Valkyrie Magnus dropping by says, I like Planet Terror, but didn't watch Death Proof either. So thank you so much, Valkyrie, for joining us here tonight. Really appreciate it. Let's see. So we have a D from Alex, a C for me, and I've been kind of generous.
And I would still say that it's not a bad movie.
Yeah, like you mentioned this earlier, that there hasn't been a bad Tarantino film, even Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But Jose, what are your thoughts on Death Proof?
I'm actually not as hard on it as you guys. I actually kind of like it. I do like the grindhouse aesthetic on this one. I do agree with Alex that it doesn't feel as much as a Tarantino film as his other films. You could kind of, like, for me, for the longest time, I thought it was a Robert Rodriguez film. For the longest time, that was kind of my, like, I honestly thought that was his film, and I thought, but now, obviously I don't. But I wasn't as hard on it. I mean, I liked Kurt Russell's character, stuntman or whatever's Mike. I thought he had a lot of swag. I liked his car. The girls were interesting. Again, revenge plot, right? For the girls. Anything with the revenge kind of gets me. So I don't know. I wouldn't go as low as you guys. I might go C+, B- on average. I kind of enjoy it, man.
Okay. So let's see. So we have two C's. You said high C or B minus, right? So
yeah,
which one do you think? Because it's gonna make a difference. A B minus.
Well, I
or
wouldn't
C
put it
plus?
if it's to the point where like you would put it at B at the same category as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then I would have to say C plus because I don't think it's on the same level, personally. So.
All right, so it's gonna be a low C overall.
Yeah.
Within our grade.
Okay.
With Alex and my grade.
I can live with that.
So yeah, sorry, Mr. Aunt Jemima there. So Death Proof, low C.
I tried.
So try to save it, right? Try to save it.
Yeah.
C is fair, he says. Okay.
Okay, cool.
There you go. Okay, so I saved the last one, or the best one for last, in my opinion.
Ooh. Oh.
Kill Bill. I'm already trying to move it over there. Sorry.
He's like, move it to S.
I'll move it there for now, because I don't know if I can go back there. Kill Bill is S tier, easy for me. This is probably top 5 or top 10 films of all time for me.
Wow.
Both films. I know some people ask me like, so which do you prefer, first or second? I do see it as one film, right? But if you're gonna make me choose, yes, Volume 1 is a little bit more memorable to me. But there's a lot of cool scenes, awesome scenes, dialogue, like I said here. The revenge thing, like you mentioned, Jose, this is like top tier for me right there.
Yeah.
It's just a great film. The anime style that decided to go to cover Oronishi's backstory, I thought that was awesome. I don't really care for anime. Sorry, Alex. I don't really care for it. I wasn't a huge fan, but I love that sequence in Kill Bill, and it was kind of like random in a way, but throughout the years, so like, yeah, that totally makes sense. That totally works for this film here. It's at a sequence which works well here as well. She has her list of who she's gonna take out and all the other stuff, and even that's out of sequence. And even at the beginning, at the first scene, I believe, like the opening scene, she crosses out Vivica A. Fox character as that she's done, right? But she already crossed out Oranishi above, so that was actually before Vivica A. Fox character. I forget what her name is, and the assassin there, but I just know that she said that she should have been the character or the nickname that the bride has or whatever, Beatrix Kiddo. There you go. And then of course we have the sequence at the end at the sushi bar, which is iconic now. It's black and white for American theaters, I'm guessing. I thought I heard that you can see it everywhere else, where you see all the blood and the color and all that stuff, if I'm not mistaken there. The music, I love the music there. The training that we see in Volume 2, James Marsden. Wait, is it James Marsden? What's the actor's name with the cowboy hat? The bouncer who gets killed with the snake.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool when he's in that scene there. And then I like Michael, I think his name is Michael Parks. He plays like Bill's like a father figure kind of at the end in Volume 2, where she goes and tries to find him. He's the guy that's gonna tell you where he is, and I liked his performance. It's kind of random. It's a very small scene with him, but I thought he was pretty cool in that scene there. And then we have of course the vehicle that's the bride takes from the hospital. I thought that was kind of interesting and funny there. It's just a lot of cool action sequences in this, and then just the story overall, and dialogue's great and everything. It's very rewatchable to me, and I've seen this movie the most of the Tarantino movies, probably just in general. That's why I think it's like top 5, maybe top 10. I really need to do like a list of like my top 10 films of all time, but it's definitely
video
the top 10. I'm gonna hear people complaining about my top 10, so that's why I haven't really done it. But
it's your top 10.
But
you'll get clicks, man. You'll get clicks.
I'm
like,
yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. Watch Once Upon a Time Hollywood being in the.
Jose, you sound like very far away. I don't know what's
I think your mic got turned off or something.
Yeah, so I was saying, top 10 list or whatever, and I was gonna say watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood making in the top 10 when I'm doing my list there, but just kidding, of course. So let's throw it to. Sorry, I need a cough here. Let's throw it to Alex. Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, dude. When this movie came out, I was 15, I think. I was into martial arts. I was doing taekwondo. I was like obsessed with that whole lifestyle. I was obsessed with Japanese cinema. Like I was already a huge film buff. I was very young, but I was a film buff. And I tried to go watch it in theaters, and they didn't let me in.
Oh wow, that's
yeah, they didn't let me in. So I had to wait for the DVD release, and I got obsessed. Like I loved it. Like it was so good. Like everything in. Like again, I'm gonna go back to the whole love letter to film. This is the same thing, man. Like this is a love letter to Hong Kong movies, to martial arts movie. Like it's so cool. It's so cool. Like all the way they shoot stuff, the sound effects with the kicks and the punches, everything is so over the top. When they fight, like on the first fight with Bernita Green, like when she falls on the table and there's bowling pins sound, and it's all this over the top sound design that makes the movie so connected to the Hong Kong films, and it's incredible. Like the whole lifestyle. I'm a cinematographer. Well, I started my career as a cinematographer, and it's the first time that we see Robert Richardson working with Tarantino, and just seeing what they do together, like seeing what they can do. It's amazing. But I have an unpopular opinion about both movies. I think the second one is better than the first one.
Oh, okay.
And I think Volume 2 is better. I think the story is more engaging. I think like the first one is way too focused in action and setting everything up. But the second one, like you get to understand Beatrix more. You get to understand Bill more. Like the whole Pai Mei story.
I get that.
It's everything. I don't know. Like I think I appreciate that more than action. Like I've always preferred character development, and for me, like I think I've talked this with you 100 of times, but if you only have action without feeling for the characters, then you don't care if they are at risk or something happens to them, and that's why the second one feels more.
Then it's a Michael Bay movie, basically.
Worst director ever.
I mean, I personally feel like that's what happened with the John Wick franchise. It's like at the first one, you kind of had a lot of that emotional, with the, everything. And then later on, it just became about a video game. And you're kind of just like, you're just watching them shoot, and getting away and running away and shoot. It's just,
I still love them, but I totally get that.
You have fun, but it's no longer like on the first one, you feel for him.
Yeah.
Like you understand his thirst for revenge, and then it's like, nothing's gonna happen to him. Like he's never gonna die. But I would Kill Bill. Yes.
Oh, he should have died. John Wick should have died plenty of times. It's like, how does he fall from that? What was at the end of the third movie?
The third movie.
He got stabbed and shot, and
I still haven't seen the fourth one.
No, it's
which I hear it's good, but
I saw it. I want to watch it.
I
saw it. You really liked? Oh, come on. Oh,
yeah. I still really liked it.
How can you have a scene where he falls from the stairs comedically like 15 times, doesn't die, and enjoy that film? Like I just don't. For me, it's just like it's like you're saying, I know my audience is stupid and I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hold on.
It's like
if you want to talk about John Wick, let's talk about Star Wars. Okay, how many times have people been stabbed in the heart with a lightsaber?
That's not Star Wars. That's not Star Wars.
No.
I'm just saying.
Star Wars. That's Disney Star Wars. That doesn't count.
No. It's
Star
just
Wars
like,
been dead.
I'm not trying to put down Star Wars. I'm just trying to bring up John Wick is all. Okay?
Let's not.
It was utterly ridiculous. I saw chapter 4 early. Actually, it was a test screening, and I gave it a negative review. Like, I just did not enjoy that film. I thought it jumped the shark. I mean, it had already jumped the shark to a certain extent, but it jumped the shark even more. I thought it was utterly ridiculous. I thought it was stupid. And I can go off on it even more, but I won't because that's not what we're talking about. But
hold on, do you like the first John Wick movie?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I enjoy the second one too to a certain extent. But
I didn't like
with that guy that has to cash in the favor and all that, like the blood oath or whatever.
I was mainly, and then I'll just say this and then I'll move on because there's not a John Wick thing. But I was entertained. I completely understand what you're saying, that there was a lot of just a lot of action, and especially in John Wick 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a lot of shooting. And that did get tiring. It did get tiring because it's the same shit all over again. I was entertained, so I wouldn't say that the story was great for those movies. I was just entertained, and that's all I was there for John Wick. Now, the question that Aunt Jemima is asking here says Kill Bill or John Wick. For me, it's easy, Kill Bill.
Yeah, 100%.
John Wick, 100%.
So there you go. So there's that. And then we have Jesse Human saying he is just built different. Hello, Jesse. I haven't seen you in the
no, he's just a video game character. He's no longer an actual human being. He's a video game. That's all it is.
So Jesse, thank you so much for joining us here. Welcome here.
Although I'm excited for the ballerina with Ana de Armas. That looks interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, but if there's too much action, you're not gonna enjoy it.
That's not what I said at all.
So let's go.
What I said.
Oh, don't get pissy.
I'm just saying that's not at all the criticism that I'm bringing up in regards to why that film doesn't work. So it's like,
I actually like the fourth one more than the third.
I would agree with that too.
Yeah, because I think 3 is just like a nonstop action from the beginning till the end, and there's not really even a story. And I think 4, there's a little bit more story, but it's still kind of the same, right? Because he's trying to get out of the whole thing. Yeah. And then there's like Bill Skarsgård's character or whatever.
But at least you have the duel at the end, and it's like, yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of them, but entertaining for me, so that's why I love those. But Jose, Kill Bill.
It's up there, man. Yeah. Well, I don't really know what else to add other than it's incredible. Uma Thurman is wonderful. I wish we had a new 1/6 scale yeah,
it'd be cool
figure of her. I think it would be wonderful. Hot Toys, I don't know why you're not doing it, or InArt or whatever's, or what are all these other companies? What's the new one that just came out with the movie, the monsters, the Frankenstein and all them?
Caustic,
they can do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, or them, or it's like there's I don't know. It's just incredible, man. The nods to classic, kung fu movies, the anime sequence that you mentioned is exceptional. Vivica A. Fox is great in that scene that you mentioned. I love the idea that they've been pitching about Zendaya being her daughter, and then doing Kill Bill 3, and then like doing this whole other film with them.
I haven't heard about that.
That would be
cool.
Yeah, it's a really great idea there. Yeah, man. I don't count them as one. I mean, I know the vision and the intent of Tarantino is that they're one full film, but I don't see them that way. And I definitely agree that the first film is better. I think the second one is a little slower paced. I mean, they're both they're all slow burns in a way, right? All Tarantino films, but I think the other one feels a lot like it feels like the other one. The second one drags a little, from what I remember. Definitely need to revisit them because I haven't seen them in a while. I think my brother put them on about a year ago. We watched them like 1 and 2, like all the way through together. So no, they're a lot of fun. They're a great watch. I arguably his best films. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's debatable because I love Pulp Fiction, and Inglourious Basterds is definitely up there too. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me, also there. So it's like kind of those films, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then everything else kind of just follows. So. Yeah, I don't really know what to add other than it's great, man. I love them.
What would you?
The tier. Yeah, S tier for sure.
Okay, so still S tier. Okay.
Yeah.
S tier. Okay, so. Wait, what the hell did I do here? Okay. You already went, right, Alex? Yeah.
Yeah, I said S.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Brick, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, everything that you guys said is 100% accurate. I wouldn't put it as an S tier though. I would put it at A. if it was just the first movie, I think I'd put it as an S tier, but putting them together, I would put it as an A. I love that scene though at the beginning, near the beginning of the first one, when she goes to the house and they're having that fight in the kitchen, and then the daughter shows up and they're like kind of like, oh, we're just hanging out, basically. But yeah, that's a really fun scene. The hospital scene, which was brought up in the comments, very, very good movie. Love exactly what you guys said, like, showing love for like old kung fu movies and all of that, and kind of making it a modern day was pretty sweet. So if they do a third movie, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I really hope he's gonna. I don't know if he is, but I'll be super excited if he's like, okay, the next one is actually going to be Kill Bill Volume 3 or whatever. But
that'd be cool.
Probably not, though. He's probably not going to do that. But, let's see.
No, but one of the things I was mentioning earlier is that he's kind of like, one of the things they've been saying is because a lot of people view it the way that you're ranking it here, as it's one individual film, that he can kind of like loophole and say that they're one film, and that way he can make another film, and that one can be Kill Bill 3. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of his loophole.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He'll stop after the 10th one, kind of like what Ridley Scott was saying, whatever.
Yeah.
But he is older, so who knows? So But I guess we'll have to wait and see what his 10th film is going to be. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. So we got all S's, right? For Kill Bill.
I gave it an A.
Oh, you gave an A. That's right. You gave an A. All right. So let's see where we're at here. So,
what did you give it, Gio? Also S?
An S. Yeah, I gave it an S. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at the other grades. So we got Pulp Fiction, right? Pulp Fiction. And then we have Inglourious Basterds. I think we have the same exact. So we have 3 S's and an A for each of these. So now.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So now, moving them within here. So, okay, I'll go one by one here. I'll make my pick, I guess. So I would put Kill Bill as absolute S tier. I would. Then I'll go to Jose. Of the 3, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and Inglourious Basterds, who should be top tier?
Kill Bill.
Okay.
Kill Bill.
Alex.
Objectively speaking, I'd say Pulp Fiction.
Okay, Pulp Fiction. All right. And then Brick.
Pulp Fiction.
Okay, so we got a tie.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
So
well, I'm surprised you didn't say Inglourious Basterds, Alex.
Would you?
Yeah, no, I try to be as subjective as I can.
Yeah.
Would anybody consider switching? Like, is it like to the point where it's close, or you're like, no, for me specifically, Pulp Fiction is higher than Kill Bill, or vice versa for me and Gio? Do you think that you could be like on your mood, you might switch it to Pulp Fiction, or you like definitively Kill Bill is the top for you?
Kill Bill is an absolute top tier for me because it's top film, one of the top films, period. So that's why I wouldn't say that.
I would say that about Pulp Fiction.
And right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're saying there. Let's see. And Jemima says Kill Bill is number 1. Jesse's saying Pulp. Sorry, so we even have a tie in the chat.
Oh wow.
All right, so
they can be 1A and 1B. You know, how about that?
Okay, I guess. So. Who thinks Inglourious Basterds would be better, in your opinion, obviously, than Pulp Fiction?
I liked it more, but I don't think it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure. So I guess we're just to keep it like that. I guess.
But I do think Inglourious Basterds better than Kill Bill.
Wait, what happened? Do I
that
think
matters?
Actually, I think that too. Like, I think Inglourious Basterds is better than Kill Bill.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
interesting. So then the way you guys would rank it is Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds, then Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you rank it, Jose?
The way that it is now. Yeah, the way that it is now. Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, and then Inglourious. That's how I would rank it.
See, for me, Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction.
Oh wow, interesting. So then, is there one that moves then?
You mean like moves to A? Or?
Yeah, because of like from like, would you move like, would you guys be more satisfied with moving, maybe moving? No, that's true because that's strange. Because it's like, it's
what
tough.
What does Rotten Tomatoes say? No, I'm just kidding.
What does Marcellus Wallace look like?
Oh my god.
Let's see. And Jemima says we need a tiebreaker.
We need a tiebreaker.
Jesse Human says, honestly, I agree with that. I enjoy it way more, but it's not better. So you're referring to Pulp Fiction, right? Because I think you said Pulp Fiction, I believe, right? Valkyrie saying, I still need to see Inglourious Bastards. Yeah. So, all right. So the issue right now are what's just Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction, because we're kind of like tied there, right? Completely tied.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's just a matter of these two, like which one goes here or whatever, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know how to do it by alphabetical order. I don't know.
It's your channel, Gio. So whatever you. Yeah.
JP says I give the edge to Pulp Fiction due to the multiple layers of the story. And then Jamal says we got a winner. What's up, fella cinephiles? So hello, Mr. JFeezy. Thanks so much for joining us here. All right, so I'll just I'll go ahead and move it like this. I'll say Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and then Inglourious Bastards. Is anyone satisfied?
I'm not mad at that if because you're ranking Kill Bill as one single film.
Okay.
And I personally don't think Kill Bill 2 is as strong.
That's
so
what I was
would
thinking
put,
too.
Yeah, so I would put I'm okay with putting Pulp Fiction ahead of it. However, Kill Bill 1 I think is my favorite over Pulp Fiction, but I like both of them, so I'm not mad at it.
Okay. All right. So there you go. So Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards, top 3 there in that order, S tier. Django Unchained, A. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, high B, and then followed by Reservoir Dogs. Then C with these are the lowest Tarantino movies here with Jackie Brown, The Hateful Eight, and I guess dead last is going to be Death Proof, right? So
yeah.
So there you go. So that's the tier list for the Tarantino movie tier list, which was very interesting there, and just a little over 2 hours. So I think we did pretty well there. So that's it, guys. So that was it. That was the stream there. So let's see here. Now I did mention earlier at the beginning of the stream here. Jesse Human says 07 Death Proof. Well, yeah, no, that's the year that came out, I believe there. But so again, this Tarantino movie tier list is it's a series that I'm planning on doing, so I'll do more. The next one that I would like to do is Spielberg. Let me move this here, actually, the little Tarantino thing right there. The Spielberg directed movie tier list, which I would like to do this year, but it's really going to depend on you guys' availability. Adam as well. Adam will be joining on that one too. I would really like to have all you guys on here, so we may have to push the dates to see when anyone's available. Ideally, like I said, I would like it this year, but if not, we can try in January. If it goes past that, then we may just have to go forward with it without it.
Yeah, and then Brick needs to watch Indiana Jones. So
hold on,
that's right.
To be fair with the first Indiana Jones, I tried to watch that movie twice. So as of right now, it's like a D.
Oh my God.
If I can't get through a movie, like that is
true. If you can't, that is kind of a bad sign, right?
Right.
When you say the first,
but I want to like it because everyone likes it. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies I want to like.
You're talking about release or chronologically?
Just a little
released.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little tease. I'm not a bigger fan of the Indiana Jones films, but that's a discussion for another day.
Alex
but-
is like,
Oh
oh my
my.
gosh, I don't know if I can do
Oh
this.
my gosh. He's like, what am I doing here? Oh my.
right? Feezy
I already
says,
know Jose's gonna like message me after the show and the whole John Wick.
So Feezy says, but definitely love me some
Oh,
Kill
love
Bill.
it.
Still waiting on the whole Bloody Affair 4K release. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. Blazing Asian, which I've never seen here
hello,
before.
Blazing Asian. Yes.
Got here late. Death Proof is a C. This is a
travesty.
travesty.
I
Sorry.
tried. I tried, Blazing Asian. I tried.
Yeah.
The,
Blazing Asian, I
I
haven't seen you before in the live chat, so welcome. Thank you so much for
I've
joining
seen
us
them
here.
in other places. Good to see you.
And then Valkyrie Magnus saying, what is it? Hearsay? Hearsay?
Hearsay?
Just kidding, Brick.
Just kidding.
All right. So planning this hopefully soon. I'll give you guys posted on that. Some other ones, Christopher Nolan movies, David Fincher movies, Francis Ford Coppola movies. So obviously this is not going to happen the next few weeks, but just that's my plan. So we'll see how those go.
It's a fun plan.
And
yeah, I think we got to be an odd number so that way when there's tiebreakers, because we were even, it was hard.
Oh, so hopefully Adam will be able to join us for some of those, so that we'll have a fifth one, or I may just have to take myself out of it, kind of like I did with the Batman actors list, because I kind of didn't really contribute to that, unless it was like a tiebreaker or whatever. James Cameron. Okay. James Cameron.
Yeah,
there
James Cameron would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Chong dropping by. Hey, fellas. Alex, I missed you. Say something.
How are you, Chris?
Hello, Chris Chong. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, Alex hasn't been here on this channel for a while, but he's back here today. But thank you so much for dropping by there. And let's go ahead and plug you guys' channels and stuff like that. So let's start with Alex Montano. So what do you have going on there, Mr. Alex?
Not much right now. Not much right now because I'm really busy with work. And but I've been posting, like I always say, my channel is in Spanish, but you can turn on the English captions about movies, filmmaking in general. So if you guys want to go take a look, I made a video about like original language and Spanish dubbing, and people hated me, and I got a lot of hate because I hate dubbing.
Damn.
Yeah, I hate dub stuff. I hate it.
I don't like it either, actually.
You know what? That seems to be common. Like when I'll go and visit my cousins in Mexico, they don't watch stuff in like dubbed at all. Like they don't like, they'll watch it in the original language with captions.
That's great.
Yeah.
But you know what? On my case, like people they like dub stuff more, and I've always had an issue with that. And I don't get, like in my home, they've always watched everything in the original language with captions or subtitles. But I can't, like, it gets me in the worst mood when I watch something dubbed. Like I can't with the way the mouth moves and how it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd rather read the subtitles.
Yeah, and the excuse of some people is that you can't really get into the story with the subtitles. And for me, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, yes, you can. Like,
yes. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Alex. And you have your video, "The Best Director," and you're one of those videos. So.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Steven Spielberg. So thank you so much there, Alex. Like always.
So he was definitely offended by those Indiana Jones comments, Brick. He was definitely.
Oh, I know. That's why I like went straight to him. I was like, because don't you have a hat too? I think you should.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah, Raiders is my favorite.
I will tell you what. I will finish the trilogy, the main. I know there's a fourth one, right?
Don't watch the other two.
I like. No. I'm going to watch those three movies before I. Oh yeah, there was a fifth. I'll watch the main three before we do this.
Do it.
What, okay. Alex? What do you say that I think that Raiders is obviously the most iconic film, but I enjoy Temple of Doom more.
I love Temple of Doom. I love it. I think the best are Raiders and Temple. In Last Crusade, for me, it becomes like a comedy. And I feel that it betrays characters a lot, like how they were set up in Raiders. And that's why, like, I still think Last Crusade is a great movie. But Temple of Doom, it's like, it's when they kind of reinvented the Indiana Jones formula. They were taking risks. And after that, everything they were playing it safe because they know that they could make a lot of money with the franchise.
Yeah, Kingdom of Crystal Skull is the best one, right? The best Indiana.
I would say,
Yeah,
Brick,
I
that
hate
maybe you could try Temple of Doom first, because technically it's like it kind of works like a prequel, right, to Raiders. So you could watch Temple of Doom, which I feel like is more of a fun watch, and then Raiders after, because that's more of a slow
I think
burn.
Temple is more fun. Temple of Doom is more fun.
I need to rewatch all the Indiana. Well, actually, I did rewatch Raiders not too long ago, but I do need to rewatch the trilogy.
Yeah, Blazing Asian is commenting how, like, if you're a fan of horror, Temple of Doom might be it too.
Short round for Halloween.
Short round for Halloween.
Nice.
Then Mr. Classy Thomas dropping by. Hi, boys.
Hey,
Classy Thomas. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Miss you, man.
Glad you're
doing
better
well.
now. Glad you're better now. I say nice streams. Thank you so much, sir, Mr. Classy Thomas. Hopefully you're able to go on streams soon.
Oh my.
Aunt Jemima says a lot of people feel that way. I think regarding the dubbing in movies and stuff like that.
And Dub for Life action is so weird, man. So weird.
Oh yeah.
So
I hate
in
the mouth
any language.
movements.
Yeah.
And then Chris Chong says, no, señor Alejandro, tu voz en tus videos es mejor. So like,
oh wow.
Gracias.
All right.
So
Muchas gracias.
Just the three.
You know,
friends.
You know what I loved watching now that I'm seeing The Simpsons? The Simpsons movie in Spanish is so good. And you know, like the flying pig and all that. You know what I'm talking about, Alex? Oh my god, man, it's so funny because I watched it in Mexico. So now the only version I know is the one in Spanish. So it's like I've tried. Yeah, so I'm watching it in English the other day, and I'm like, this ain't as
Doesn't
good.
hit you the same way.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I've noticed that before actually too. Classic Thomas says, Jose, are you and your film school learning
causing trouble?
Causing troubles?
No, not so much. I mean, there was a whole little John Wick thing earlier, but it's all good. It's all good.
Once upon a time in Hollywood, but that's okay. Yeah, again, thank you so much, Mr. Alex. We'll have you on here very, very soon. Let's go to Brick Artemis. What do you have going on there, Brick?
Yeah, so I have Bugle 6 Monday night. I am going to be having Flavio is going to be there, as well as Zord Photography and Zio. Reverse Zio will be on the show. Nice. So I haven't had him on in a very long time. So excited to have him on the show. And of course, we've had a video on Mondo that I put out about a week ago, maybe a little longer. Really excited for the Spider-Man figures. And I have a really good video coming up. It's going to take me a couple weeks, but it's going to be controversial. People are going to be pissed off, but you know what? It's going to be fun. And I think a lot of people will enjoy it too. So really excited. A Hot Toys video to do that video for you guys. So expect that, by the end of the month.
Ooh.
And then Brick is now the figure stock champion. Just a little side note there.
Bam.
So there you go. There you
there you go. There you go. Want to zoom in? Look at that.
Full screen. There you go. Oh wait.
Look at that.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
That.
That's a little championship.
Jose. Okay.
Why I don't even want to compete in that, man.
I know Jose's already made that clear a while ago.
No, it was like
he saw it for like a couple seconds.
I'm Jake Paul when it
like,
comes to this. Jose, you need me. I'm the money man.
Wow. Oh no. No, I'm Tyson, man. I want nothing to do with it, man.
Yeah. That bum knee.
Yeah, man.
But thank you again, Mr. Brick Artemis, for joining us here, like always. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely. Then Jose Plus, he has a YouTube channel that's has content now.
I know it has content now, man. What
do you
That's
have
surprising. I'm gonna do a couple more reviews. As you see there, I did on the 2 in-art figures that came in on the same week last week. The in-art the Batman, and then the in-art the Superman figures. I went ahead and did my little short review / analysis / showcase, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing
guys? It's Jose.
Whoa, that's weird. It was but those are my little mini reviews I did. I'm gonna keep doing a couple more of those. I got a couple other ideas. I definitely want to do like film analysis, TV analysis videos, just trying to learn how to do those. But once I figure it out, I'll start pumping those out as well. And I don't know, man, I got this idea for doing a couple more things, you know, but it's kind of just work in progress. I'm just kind of learning things right now and how to do things and kind of create my own style. But yeah, and then I'm also posting pictures on the Instagram now of the figures with the help of Nick. I'm, you know, try to place the figures in like iconic scenes or scenes from the film, and you know, kind of give it that movie style realism. So yeah, but that's it, man. And thank you so much for inviting me. And this was fun, even though we disagree. It's always fun.
We definitely did disagree.
We all agree that Death Proof wasn't great.
But yeah, exactly. That was like the overall consensus, right? Like mainly there. But Jose, like always, thank you so much for joining in any of the shows, because you're like one of the few who have done all three.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. All right, so I think that is it, guys. So let me see if I can move this real quick here. So for me, I have my Figures Talk show tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I was hoping that there would be more like drops or announcements or whatever, but it is what it is. But we're still doing a show tomorrow. That's the plan, unless my cough gets worse or something. But tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And guys, thank you so much again for joining here in the stream in this very first film directors series of movie tiers and whatnot. So a lot more to come. So thanks so much for everyone who was watching live and the replay. Always appreciated there. So that is it for today, and I'll see you guys next time.
Perfect.
Have a good day.
Later, guys.